Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to Hump Day, and you know what that means. Who has on pink? You know, we've been labeled as the mean girls over here. I gladly take that. Who did I miss in the pre-chat? I see Snow made it in. Thank you, Snow. Tracy, good morning. Connie S. has hers on. Hey, Dee, what's up? Been chatting with Amy in Boston. I see Kat's in here. She's got a funny story to tell us. We're going to hear about it in Discord. Can't wait. Clipper, hey, pink butterfly, sweet toughness. How are you, beautiful? Cat's hodgepodgery, number 44, what to do? Woo! Joanne said, my favorite part of Wednesday is the camel. Mine too. We have a little issue around the new neighborhood. As you know, OJ is getting adjusted. He has a new schedule. He's got birds. He has to check on it, various windows. There is a fat squirrel, and I mean it is fat. This thing is like Thanksgiving dinner fat. I have named it Rex. So this morning, OJ realized that one of our neighbors walks his dog every morning. Well, that has thrown OJ into a whole new funk. Between the birds, the fat squirrel named Rex, and now there's a damn dog in his street. He's just about had it. He's like, I'm about ready to go back to the condo where all I had to do was watch birds on TV. It's too much responsibility for him. Way too much. He can't do it. He's been going into one of the back bedrooms, and I put the picture up yesterday during the Harmony show, and he lays there like a teenager, like, do you mind? Shut the door. I have this thing on his neck so I can find him. We call it Find a Kitty. It's actually for keys, but it's on his collar. So if I can't find him, I push the red button. We're getting old, so we lose shit all the time. So red is for OJ. Blue is for the back remote control. Purple is for the front remote control. And green is for DT driver's wallet. Yes, he has lost his damn wallet more times than I can count. My goodness, what to do? But he'll be okay. Good morning, Yankee Kyle. Good morning. Yeah, Britt, it's called Find a Kitty. Yeah, matter of fact, I'll go get it real quick. And when he comes back in here, I'll hit it because he gets mad. He's like, ah! Every time I do it. It's not even a loud noise, but it's enough for me to know where he's at. Under the bed, in the closet, in one of the back rooms. I don't know. Good morning, Pamela Tate. How are you, lovely? Halo made it in. Well, we know what today is. It's halfway through the week. Some weeks I just don't know if we're going to make it, but it seems like we have always, together as friends, survived even our worst days. So, you know, this never gets old for me.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It is hump day. And I actually have on a pink and gray flannel over my CLL shirt. By the way, if you want to order any merchandise, send me an email. I do have to find my supplies. They're around here somewhere. So if you want low quality items for regular prices, you know who to get a hold of. OJ even has his own line. Or just think about pink, or just turn the meanness up. You know what I mean? Rexy has been a member for 19 months and a very good friend of mine for 19 months. She said, now I'm a fat squirrel. Join the club, girlfriend. It's not like my fat ass can't go outside and walk around the block a few times. I've always got an excuse to sit on my ass and do nothing. It's insane. But of course, you know, that's what happens when you work from home. Connie S. said, they are nice, Brooks, not low quality. Look at Connie S. giving props to the merchandise. That's what I'm talking about. Slim put an order in yesterday. She wants the Tragedy Pimp shirt. Here it is. Yep. She wants the tragedy pimp shirt on a tank top. I think I might be dazzle and puff paint that bitch for her because I want Slim looking extra white trash when she goes to bingo. Anything for my friends. All right. Who has read the probable cause affidavit that came out yesterday? Because it is a rough read. I mean, it is rough. This case has me with more questions than answers, and I'm to the point I don't want the damn answers. It's horrific. It is god awful. I can't stop. I go back to Jen Soto. What did she know? How could she ignore? I keep hearing all the Seroquel stuff. Well, my God, you can't be on Seroquel. You can't be asleep 24/7. Tam said I about lost it. What is wrong with people? 36 pages. I believe it's page 26 or 27 that talks about child bestiality, sadomasochistic, I can't even pronounce it, behavior. Angela Danner said, I cried reading it. What a monster. I lost my breath at one point. You can't tell me Jen Soto has been under the weather for 7 years. And there's a new term in every case for perversion, depravity that is forced upon a child. Every case we hear a new term. In every case, somebody comes in and corrects me to educate me. Look, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for a small percent of what's going on this earth. Gabby said, I'm glad I didn't read it. Yes. Jinbug said, morning, Slim. Jinbug has been calling this out left and right since the case broke. Jinbug, did you read it? I'm getting names confused since we started talking in third person Monday afternoon. Bobo said, I'm sick of excuses for mom. Well, I put a community post up yesterday and I said we will talk about it this morning because it takes Brooks here a little while to get her mind in the right frame of mind to discuss these things. Let's go through some of your comments and then we're going to get to it. Snazzy trinkets. By the way, paging snazzy trinkets because I love this comment. Where are you, Snazzy? She said, these risk-adverse prosecutors drive me nuts. Once I see the mom charged in murder charges, I will congratulate them on a job well done. Snazzy's not screwing around. She's had it. She said, until then, they are only stacking the deck. And they are. Oh, boy, they are. She said, Stepmeth, who was Kayla Montgomery we spoke about yesterday, is going to be free soon for her part in Harmony's murder. I am sick of seeing plea deals for these women who know more than they are saying. She said, I truly believe the mom knows more. All right, I'm going to take it to the poll. Who thinks mom knows more? Who thinks mom has this GoFundMe for legal fees? It's up to 16 grand last I heard. Some people say it's shut down. It's not shut down. And the funeral was paid for. Who thinks mom knows more? Oh, mermaid. Heather Licious says me. Still says mom knows. Slim, I do. Connie said she's full of it. Jen Bug said, I couldn't get through it all. It's as bad as I thought it was and breaks my heart. And for Jen Bug, because she was calling it out, which she has done in other cases. She has a gift, my friends. She does. When I read that yesterday, my face about fell off. Kat has been a member for 27 months. She said 27 months a member. Friends for seems like ever. That could be a card. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. There you go. I screenshotted that. I'm going to make you a card. Hopefully you don't remember you're the one that said it, and I can take credit for that, Kat, because that's beautiful. That got me choked up. All right. Grumpy 816 said Grady Judd did a presser yesterday where he discusses children being sold by parents. One guy was even arrested on his way to a girl's birthday party. Damn sick. Damn sick. Broken Dream Farm said no charges to anyone regarding her murder. What's up with that? And no charges for Mommy Dearest still. What's up with that? Anybody want to weigh in on that? Because the only thing that I can think of is that they are so far into the CSAM that they don't need to start working on the murder yet, or they're not quite sure who murdered her. That's all I can think of. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Dispatch Crystal said the pure hell that beautiful little girl went through, that man is just pure evil, and I question the mom knowing. You know, Maddie's personality had to change, and a normal mom would question that, or in my opinion anyways. Yeah. I was the parent that asked my kids every 2 seconds, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you still hungry? What's going on? I mean, did she not notice anything? As we spoke about on Monday, she washed her clothes. She washed her sheets. I went through the Zillow of the condo that they all lived in together. It's not just one bedroom. It's 4. And I want to know how they were affording that rent. Jen has worked off and on. At one time, she said, I'm home 24/7. This will be my only income. I'm going to walk dogs. Dog walking isn't going to pay that rent. 400 plus images have been recovered. Plus, 400 plus images. We know in the case that we spoke about briefly on Monday, Santa, Popsicle Man, they said Homeland Security is going to spend a long time figuring out where all the images went. For all we know, Madeline's images may have been sold. Grumpy, welcome back. Grumpy said, I think Grady's presser explains how they paid rent. I went through it and I appreciate you telling me about it. 36 pages. Bestiality. I mean, you kidding me? Journey to Justice says, my daughter lived in Miami. Her rent for a 3-bedroom was nearly $3,000 a month. Let's look at what they make at Disney. That's where he worked. It's a little over minimum wage, but not that type of rent check. No way. No way. All right. We will start with this. Actually, I'm going to put the link up Don't be shy. I don't bite. Come on up. I know I've already invited a couple people to come up. Stephan Sterns, or Stephan. This name gets more eccentric all the time. Faces 60 new charges in Madeleine Soto disappearance death case, police say. The state attorney's office on Tuesday filed 60 new criminal charges against Stephan, the prime suspect in the disappearance and death of Madeleine Soto, a 13-year-old whose body was found in Osceola County after she was thought to be missing for a week. Sterns has not been charged for Soto's death as of yesterday. Sterns, or as I call him, Mr. Disney, is the boyfriend of Madeleine Soto's mother, Jennifer. He has been charged. This was yesterday. This isn't all together. 8 counts of sexual battery of a child under 12. Give me a second to go through this. I had a hard time watching Plunder. She couldn't read it without crying. 5 counts of sexual battery with a child aged 12 to 18. 7 counts of lewd and lascivious molestation. 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. That says 10 or more images, but it says 40 counts. I didn't quite get the answer out of the probable cause. I will have to go back through it when my stomach is empty, if you know what I mean. The 36-page affidavit obtained by Fox 35 details all 60 counts of what Sterns is accused of, but Fox 35 is choosing not to release the details listed due to their graphic nature. Pink Butterfly said yes, so that's 400. I'll go back up to this. 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. 10 or more images. So if I'm reading it correctly, the way it was explained in another article, that's over 400 images. Do you all think there are more victims? Or his one victim was Madeleine? I believe there's more. He doesn't appear with what we know about him. I don't mean his appearance. What we know about him, he doesn't seem like a dude that can get it out of his system, if you know what I mean. Cece said yes. Benita said yes. Chloe said more. The document does not name a victim, but it does include a date range of how long Sterns has allegedly been in possession of graphic materials or when the alleged abuse started, June 19th, 2019. You can't tell me there's not other phones out there, Mama. You can't tell me there's not other phones. That range tops out on February 26, 2024, the day Madeleine Soto was last seen. A previous affidavit from the Kissimmee Police Department said that Sterns performed a factory reset on his phone that day. Well, we know how that worked. Stillwater says there's more. Bet. While it remains unclear who the victim or victims are, If one of them is Madeline Soto, she would have been 8 years old when the alleged crimes began. The affidavit said Sterns was in a position of familial or custodial authority when he allegedly committed some of the sexual batteries. It also remains unclear. Scroll up. It also remains unclear exactly how many images Sterns was allegedly in possession of, but each count says he was in possession of 10 or more images. That means he could have been in possession of at least 400 images of any form of CP. And you know, I had my ass handed to me last Monday when I said CP. Somebody was very triggered by that. I'm just reading the article. Or more. He's going to be arraigned on April 2nd. According to the state attorney's office, sexual battery on a child under 12 is a capital felony and is punishable by life in prison or death if convicted. And I really hope other states get it together on that one. I know a lot of states don't use the death penalty, but you know, you've got cells. You can put them away for life if you're too squeamish to do the death penalty. Yesterday we had a huge victory in our state. Our friend Justin Webster went to the Capitol, and Knight's Law is now in effect, meaning you hurt a child, you're not getting out. There's no rehab for you. The governor is going to pick up on it and is going to say, I'll do you one better, because old Kevin Stitt, he's always got to have the good ideas. I'll do you one better. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. All right, here's a little bit more on his charges. Ooh, my friends. Do you think DP is too easy for him, or do you think he should just sit and spin in jail the rest of his life and wish him the best of health? Don't give him any kind of rare cancer. Let him sit. Angel said, kill him. Kill him. I don't know enough about the DP in Florida to know how long it takes. I know in Oklahoma, it can be anywhere from 10, 15 to 20 years. Hell, some can sit there for 30. It just depends on how the appeals go. Seems to me in this case, we're going to get the best of both worlds. He's going to have to sit, and he's going to get bundied. Then he'll go get to meet his real maker, Satan.
The lead suspect in the death of 13-year-old Madeline Soto and the boyfriend of Madeline's mom is now facing 60 new charges. They aren't murder charges, but instead are the consequences of what was found on his phone. West News' Megan Mulatto joins us live from the Osceola County Jail where Sterns is being held. And Megan, these charges could put him away for life.
Yes, Stu, that's exactly right. So the charges vary from sexual battery on a child under 12 to lewd or lascivious molestation. Now, the state attorney's office says both of those are felonies. Both of them could lead to life in prison if convicted. While law enforcement agencies across Central Florida were investigating the disappearance of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, detectives with the Kissimmee Police Department found pictures and videos on Stephan Sterns' phone, leading to his arrest just days after Madeline went missing on charges of sexual battery with a child, capital sexual battery, and possession of material depicting sexual performance by a child. This is video of Sterns being taken to the Osceola County Jail. That Friday, Madeline's body was found near Hickory Tree Road. Officials believe Sterns was spotted near the location earlier in the week, hours after surveillance video captured Madeline's body in Sterns' car. Now, the state attorney's office has filed 60 new charges against him.
60 new charges. This isn't on top of what got him originally arrested. Back to my question. Obviously, Madeline is who we're discussing. Are there other victims? And let me tell you what, I am not squeamish at all. I say, let them meet their maker. Send them straight back to hell where they came from. I don't want to hear any more about they're over-sexualized, they have a mental disability, they just don't know, their mom didn't breastfeed them, they were picked on in school, at one time they thought they were a girl but they're really a man. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Halo said there's many more. Sit here and head pet these freaks. Our kids are in danger. I don't care who you are, you can't keep your eyes on your kids 24/7, especially the older they get. It's ridiculous. And public enemy number one in these cases is almost always the worthless ass mama. I got a list as long as my arm of these women that should have been sewn up when they were 8 years old. They have no business being around children.
Him, including 8 counts of sexual battery on a child under 12, 5 counts of sexual battery with a child 12 to 18, 7 counts of lewd or lascivious molestation, and 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child, 10 or more images. In a statement, State Attorney Andrew Bain says the State Attorney's Office has been working closely with KPD and received evidence that gave
The State Attorney's Office has been working closely with KPD and received evidence that gave us cause to file formal charges. We appreciate the thoroughness and detailed attention of their investigation and will continue to work with our law enforcement partners to build a strong case against the defendant. Of course, the big question is murder charges. We know she was murdered. Some people are speculating, theorizing that she was basically found dead in her bed, like she couldn't take it anymore and she decided to unalive herself. I don't know. But there's something definitely going on. This big old boy right here on the screen, I would put him in the cell with Mr. Disney. Let him tune him up.
Gave us cause to file formal charges against Stearns. We appreciate the thoroughness and detailed attention of their investigation and will continue to work with our law enforcement partners to build a strong case against the defendant. We requested an interview with Kissimmee Police regarding these charges and the murder investigation. They declined and referred us to a statement from Chief Betty Holland that says in part, "With this being a complex case with many facets, our work is not done, and we are continuing our investigation into the timeline leading up to Madeline's death." For now, Stearns is being held here at the Osceola County Jail on no bond. According to court documents, they show that he'll be back before a judge on April 2nd for his arraignment. For now, we're live in Osceola County. Megan Mulatto, WESH 2 News.
If he shows up, he already waived his first hearing. It's like he took a page out of Adam Montgomery's playbook. Don't show up, just lay in the cell. Wait on my next cold sandwich. Give me some good old county water. 400 plus images. S&M, bestiality. How did the mom not know? How did she not know? And what was she doing comforting him? I hate to do it, but let's look at this again. There's a lot in this interview, and then we have other things we're going to go through. It just seems to me, her demeanor, she's hiding something. Is she hiding what we can see as the obvious, or is she in denial? Because let me tell you what, there has been some heated comments, people coming at me. Oh, you think you're a perfect mother? You think you could do better? Yeah. I don't think I'm perfect. No, not at all. I've yelled at my kids. I've grounded my kids, taken up for them at school, with their teachers when I knew I shouldn't have because I knew they were in the wrong. You name it, I've done it wrong. You name it. But I can tell you something right now. This would not have happened to one of my children. 2+ years, actually more, since 2019. Goodness.
So the first question is if I can have your last name, and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto, JENNIFER SOTO.
Mother.
Mother.
Jennifer, tell me how you feel right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family is a mess. We're just so worried.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing.
Okay, there's a huge lie. She did not go missing between 8:45 and 9 a.m. When she was being drove around in Mr. Disney's car, she was already deceased. And I want to know what's on the ceiling that she keeps looking up. Is he standing up over her? I have a feeling that the interviewer is sitting straight across from her, but she keeps looking up. That is very strange to me. That is very strange to me. She went missing 8:45 to 9 o'clock. No, she did not, girlfriend. Nope. And I want to know why Jennifer Soto lied about what Madeline had on. She didn't have on black shorts. She was found in blue jeans. Which is odd to me. If she was, who dressed her? Let's say she was, the big M happened at like, say, 4 in the morning. She don't sleep in jeans. He was throwing her stuff away at 7:30 a.m. She doesn't sleep in jeans. Who dressed her? Hey, Brittany. Think about that. Who dressed her?
We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. Sorry. That should be it. Sorry about that. We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that will put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out.
Okay, let's talk about this. She was spotted on the cameras walking by the school, from the church to the school. Again, it's an unusual day. She's never been dropped off a block or so away. She's been taken to school. Who was seen on camera? Why did Jennifer Soto's sister, who I do not believe is involved at all, call the police and get this information? Who fed her the information? Who was really on camera? Who was really on that camera? Was it Jennifer? Whether your child is missing or not, because someone is spotted on camera, you're not going to immediately assume that it's your child. But she has to put that out in the universe. She was seen on camera. I have a lot of questions about this. But first, we're going to thank Bonafide for making it rain in here. And then there's this Brittany. Thank you. She was pulling out her headphones from her backpack. If she didn't have her phone, then why would she need the headphones? You're going to listen to dead air? Why do you need the headphones if you don't have your phone? I got all day.
Out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said? Have you been in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principal's called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras is too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they've looked.
Funny story. And this comes from someone that I truly, truly trust. We have developed, a friendship over the last few days. She was never shown the video. She was never shown it. We do know in a press conference, they said there was a video, but it was too grainy to tell. That's it. Then on that Friday, they hit us with the atom bomb that said she was already deceased. She couldn't have been walking around. Her sister was told that there was a video. Who fed sister the information? I'm telling you.
I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not
to
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. She, from time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD.
Well, then why not take her phone to her? Why pick her up late from school, say the school is closed, email a teacher? What a stupid thing to do. Go to your mom's office, go back home. You have a huge gap in time before you call 911 at 8 o'clock at night. Why? You show up to school late. If she left her phone at home, take it to her at school. Solved. It's getting more ridiculous every time I go through this.
Her memory, she's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives now have her phone. But this isn't normal behavior now.
What was the last thing, I guess, the conversation that you two had, you and your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
Yeah. 13?
She's 13 years old. Yes.
13,
Madeline.
What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her.
This destroys me. In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. They conveniently bring up that she was dropped off by a church, okay? Not my first rodeo. I know what they're getting at. That she was seen on a very grainy video. We know this isn't the truth because law enforcement has already said she was deceased at that time. Somebody was Satan's secretary that day and decided to be seen on camera. Someone got out of the car to make it look like it was Madeline. Who got out of the car? And why did Mama here say she had on black shorts when she didn't? She had on jeans. Again, no one sleeps in jeans. You don't go to sleep in your britches. Unless Madeline would sleep fully clothed because she knew Stephan was going to mess with her. And I'm saying that as lightly as possible because this is YouTube.
This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
Friends, the friends' parents, you've contacted and went through every single person?
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search or look for her as well. And we haven't come up with anything yet.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, Hunters Creek, rants and raves and what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, gas station, church. I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now.
But not you, Kayla Jr. But not you. She's got flyers. People are handing them out. They're stopping people in front of the church. Did you see Madeline? But not you. You weren't worried about her not being at school. You waited almost 4 hours to call 911. You weren't worried about her leaving her phone behind. You weren't worried about missing her birthday party. This is infuriating. You get your ass out there and hand out flyers. How come you weren't all over social media looking for Madeline? She says she went missing between 8:45 and 9 a.m. 15-minute window. Her Facebook was very visible at the time. Seems like she was very busy on that day because she didn't say one thing about her daughter being missing. Then she changed her name to Sailor Coda, and now it's totally gone. Snazzy said she can't be bothered. Nope. Don't mess with her.
Yeah.
I know as a mother, a lot is going on in your brain
So much.
to bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
I mean, that they're doing the best they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
Do you have any inkling where she possibly could be? Like if you would say, okay, last time I went to work and came back, she was at James' house or Sabrina's house, and maybe I forgot to check that house, or she played at this park one week and maybe she went back there or something like that.
We've looked everywhere we could have thought, and anywhere she would have been.
It's going to be very interesting when they actually put out where all they looked. As you know, in the case of Michael Vaughn, people still, well, a couple, not very many, still say that Tyler and Brandy are responsible for the abduction of their own son. Police already know where they were. Tyler can't be committing a crime against his child and outside looking for him at the same time. Some people will never understand that. I'm not going to get off on that today. The only thing that will really save Jen Soto at this time will be the time of death. Reason being, if she got home and Maddie was already deceased, emmed, in her bed, and then the next morning he's throwing things away, Jen is still asleep. She takes that, she's on that Seroquel diet, supposedly, where she can't wake up. And then he's driving around with Madeline trying to figure out where to put her. That will be her saving grace. But the lies can't be explained. She can't say, I talked to her that night. She talked about her gifts, because remember, everything's very plain Jane, the way she says it. Very plain Jane. Oh yeah, she said she really liked her gifts. There's no detail. See, sometimes people give detail where detail is an ass, and sometimes it's very generic. Oh yeah, she liked her gifts. She had a blast at her birthday. Well, what did she say? She lies about what she has on. Law enforcement has already said what she has said does not add up with what they know. Doesn't add up.
She would have known to wait for me at the school. But we did check if she could have walked. My mom's office is close to the school. We checked there. We checked the walking paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh gosh, I just had it tip of my tongue. What was she wearing?
She was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs, a black JanSport backpack with gray hibiscus flowers on it.
I want you to listen to the wording. She's speaking like she's a narrator for Law and Order. It's not the last time I saw her, this is what she had on. She had gotten a new outfit for her birthday, and that's what she wore Monday morning. She makes sure to put her with the backpack, but the backpack was in the dumpster. The backpack was in the dumpster. When she says she was last seen wearing, that's not how a mama talks. I got a couple people backstage. Let's see who wants to chit chat. First one, bring up our friend Tiff and then Britt. What up, Tiff?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, girl, loud and clear.
Good morning, everybody. You want to bring up Britt, or you want me to wait? Or what you want to do?
Girl, you're in the hot seat. You're here, baby.
Okay, well, listen, I got a few minutes. Those of y'all that don't know, y'all pray for your girl. I'm in nursing school, so I'm listening in and chatting in between classes. But I had to get up here, excuse me, and I had to get this off my chest. For those that haven't went through the charges, every charge, I listened in to Brittany J. It's amazing that you getting ready to bring her up. Good video, nice library last night, and she went through these charges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she went through these charges, the ones that she could. Okay,
the plunder about lost it.
I know she did. Lord bless her heart. This is my listen. Y'all know Tiff. I got questions. Mm-hmm. This mother, Jennifer Soto, I hope you hear this, honey. This is and this ain't got nothing to do with Brooks. This is Tiff. I'm telling you that you will have to answer to the divine. Just as a mother. Just as a mother alone. Put aside anything else. Just as a woman. Mm-hmm. How dare you? Mm-hmm. I don't care about no Seroquel, this quill, NyQuil, or DayQuil. Listen, this man has been doing this to this baby for years.
Years.
So the reason I jumped up here, Brooks, is because of this, and I'm gonna get down and so you can bring up Britt. How is it? And I'm a grown woman. I am a grown 41-year-old woman that's a mother. I've had one son, right? How is it that this man was having access to this baby in this kind of way? The back, the front, you know what I mean? I don't have to go any further. Things that, how are you trying to tell me that you didn't notice that your 11-year-old baby was walking funny? You didn't notice that your 11-year-old little girl was in excruciating pain. She had to be. She had to be. This baby had to be in excruciating pain, knowing the things that this monster did to her body. And I'm going to tell you this, and I've never said this, but I'm going to say it today. I'm glad that the Lord went ahead and took her home. Because the pain that this demon inflicted upon this baby girl, inhumane.
Inhumane.
They can't live amongst us. They can't walk amongst us. There is no rehabilitation. If you read these charges, there is no rehabilitation. Not for that. Not for that. And you mean to tell me this bitch sit up and console his back after he has assassinated with his body your daughter, and you still lay in a bed with him night after night after night? You laying in the bed with this monster. Are you kidding me? I don't understand it. I don't make no excuses for her. She can rot in hell.
And then have the nerve to want to know why he's not paying very much attention to her. And look at me. I had vertical sleeve. I'm losing all this weight. Here's my before. Here's my after. But Stephan doesn't really have anything to do with me. But he did take.
Because the truth of the matter is, Jennifer Soto, y'all make sure she hear this. Tiff, listen. The truth of the matter is, sweetheart, he's just not that into you. You not his type. He didn't want you. He wanted your baby. You don't fit his age bracket, sweetie. And you funny looking. Let me add that to it. Before you try, you funny looking, honey. Something ain't right with you all the way around. But besides that, he's just not that into you, darling. He didn't want you. But he lied. You scratch a lie, you find a thief.
You damn right do. And
he got right to your baby.
Married, broke up, engaged. I don't care. Doesn't matter. No one is allowed access to a child. Period.
And I don't want to hear maybe she was being abused, Stockholm syndrome. Maybe he was in the domestic. Listen, motherfucker would just have to kill me. You just gonna have to kill me. Listen, when it come to my son, Brooks, you know this.
I know.
I will lay down my life for my son. That's a day that he will have to go ahead and off Tiff. Because I'm on your ass. There's no way I'm having. Listen, and Bryson is 17, 6 foot, 221 pounds of muscle. Brooks will tell you. And even now today, if you shake his hand and he feel funny about it, Tiffany got an issue with you.
That's right.
Because I'm his mother.
That's right.
Period. Let this hoe rock, just like Kayla. So I'm going to jump down. I love you, sis. I'm in chat. I love y'all. I'll be in chat.
All right, I'll see you in chat, and I'm going to send you a picture. I got my nephew's room ready for when he goes to camp.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Brooks, I told you. Oh, hold on. Y'all, this beside the point. Brooks, I told you you're going to have to get the baby. You're going to have to get OJ some lavender aromatherapy so he can get settled. His equilibrium is off because he's in a new place.
Oh, trust me.
He just stressed out a little bit.
Okay. Because I got breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything for my nephew. And I'm going to be an OSCEOLA fan soon.
Yes, you are. All right. I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Love you, Tiff. Hand of applause for our girl, Tiff. Love when she comes up and she has the time to talk to us. And now look, who do we have here? My friend Britt, and she's been doing incredible work on this case. That's why I like when we all get together. I see things Britt doesn't see. Britt sees things I don't see. Welcome, Britt. How's it going?
Hey, beautiful lady.
Hi, girl.
Goodness gracious, Tiff. I love you, girl. I love her so much. And the passion. I think I really that's a hard one to come in after right there, but I think Tiff actually 100% said everything that we feel and think with the perfect amount of passion. That's a mama bear. That's a mama bear, and that's how all of us should be, Brooks, about our kids. And I'm with her 100%. There's no way. She was 8 years old in 2019.
2019. And I go back to what Tiff said. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a nurse to understand as a woman your own anatomy. And that would hurt. I don't have daughters. But if I had a daughter and I noticed something from 2019 to 2024, a little different in her undies, I'd have questions. I'd want to know what's going on at school. I'd be talking to Mr. Disney. You name it. We'd be a doctor. You can't tell me. Since 2019 of laundry. I'm 49 years old. I've had 3 children. Even if DT driver gets a little rambunctious with me, I'm a hurting unit. And I'm a grown ass woman.
Preach. I know what you mean. Exactly. But Brooks, honestly, those charges, can I tell you, I have not had, I've had 3 hours of sleep.
Mhm.
3 hours of sleep. I got off of that live last night and I couldn't go to bed, y'all.
I was worried about you when I saw this. I was worried about my friend Jen Bug. I was afraid that she was going to read it. I tried to stomach it, but I was like, because I know how close you are to this case. And I was like, I might have to reach out to my girl Britt.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to pull back after this one. I said it before, but I think I'm going to have to take a break on the kid cases. We gotta focus on our mental health. And I'm going to tell you, she needs to be arrested. And I wanted, one of the main reasons I wanted to come up here, I wanted to point something out, and it could be, this may not be the case, but I was going through those charges last night, and the first 8 are capital, Brooks.
Mm-hmm. Capital.
Which makes me wonder if this man unalived this girl, that would be all they would need for a capital charge. So it makes me wonder if maybe he didn't do it, but they still want to go after him because it's so severe. What would be the one way to pin him on the death penalty if he didn't commit the actual act of unaliving her, would be to throw capital on one of these or multiple of these charges. So I'm wondering if they're putting capital punishment on these because he didn't do it.
I think they're putting capital punishment on it because, the law is, it's a template. It's copy and pasted all the time. And in Florida, you violate a child under the age of 12, that you can get the DP. Now, not every state does it that way. I know Texas and Oklahoma are looking at adopting that as well. And guess what? I'm here for it all day.
Me too. Let's go.
Here for it all day. So I think what they're saying is he's already got the DP for this. And there's a lot because they got to find out where all those images were sent.
Yeah.
That's going to be federal.
Yep.
And so it's deep. It's deep, my friend. And
I'm gonna say with Tiff, I'm a Christian and I believe in redemption, but when it comes to something like this, when you harm a child, I think we need to rid the earth of anybody. You are a burden on society, and there's no hope for you. You need to go. I mean, I totally see what Tiff was saying about she's, the Lord taking the baby home, because I don't even want to know what type of trauma she would experience the rest of her life. I mean, Brooks, think about it. She wouldn't even, a lot of the times when this happens at such a young age, it physically affects the child too. They can't have babies when they get older and things like that.
You can't rehabilitate people like this. And I understand that there is a movement in certain states, not in Oklahoma, thank goodness. I don't know what state you live in, but they're saying, no, listen, don't call them PEDs anymore. You have to say things a certain way because it's YouTube. You can't call them PEDs anymore. You have to be sympathetic because that is just what they're attracted to. So, okay, Jules here is attracted to Jason Momoa. If Jules tied up Jason Momoa and had her way with him, would we be like, well, Jules can't help it. That's just what she's attracted to?
No. Mm-mm. Nope. That's a sickness. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm not sorry. If you are somebody who sympathizes with that in any way, then you're just as bad, in my opinion, as the person who's doing it.
Mhm.
Because that's what I believe we're witnessing with Miss Soto here. I think she's an enabler. And Grandma said something very interesting in an interview I caught last night. She said, Maddie's grandma said that she didn't think that Maddie would run away because Maddie was a very scared child, and she didn't sleep alone at night.
I heard
that concerns me. That concerns me because there was some, I don't run with rumors, but it's been posted in the Facebook group. Someone claiming that they know the family that basically stated Maddie was sleeping in the bed with Jen and this monster.
And I don't believe for a minute that was her choice. I believe that was either the mother wanting to keep an eye on her, or it was him wanting both of them. Don't think that it's not more perverted than what we've even read. 100%. I told everyone about the case of, Morgan Keene and Argelio Pupo. Both the little girl and the mom were in the bed with him.
And there are women who are willing to do that for their man. The sick women who will do that.
Mm-hmm. Snazzy, thank you for the super sticker. Said, not to mention there could be other victims. You can't tell me he's the one and done type. You can't tell me that this is the only victim of his.
Mm-mm.
We originally heard this goes back 2 years, which by God is bad enough. Now we hear it goes back to 2019. Baby girl would have been 8 years old at the time. So you're telling me between 8 and 13, Jen Soto didn't realize this was going on? It is not common for an 8-year-old to bleed. A 9-year-old.
Mm-mm.
I was 12 when I started menstruating.
Yep. Same. Behavioral changes, the way that, let's see, if they got together in 2018, her behavior, I'm sure she would have. Okay, so last night somebody came up on panel, and someone in chat, you can tell me I'm trying my best to confirm this. I pray to God we maybe hear from Biodad at some point, but it's being stated that Maddie's stepmother began questioning her, and Maddie told her that everything, was okay at home. I guess they saw signs that concerned them, so they were asking her if things were going on at home, and it's being alleged that Maddie said no and went home and told her mom about the questions, and her mom forbid Maddie to go back to her father's house.
Mm-hmm.
Which is mind-blowing if that's true, because that would be, if we can confirm that would be a solid case.
Yeah, I look at that. It's actually on my list to look at. And I want to clarify something because, this is live. You do lives. We don't do videos where we have 2 or 3 days to edit ourselves. We live. It's off the cuff. Anyhow, when I said it's not common for an 8-year-old to menstruate, well, it's really not. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. I'm not really talking about that type of blood, though. Ladies, we know the difference. And as a mother who is doing her laundry, You see that, there is something in the undies, on the sheet, whatever. Take her to the doctor. When was she last seen by a doctor? You're telling me between 8 years old and 13 years old, she was never seen by a doctor? Take her to the doctor. I'm saying, I don't know if it's discharge. I don't know what's going on. But, between 2019 and 2024, Jen did her laundry. This didn't just happen over the last couple of days. No, this was a long going, grooming, abusive, sadistic situation. And it's absolutely disgusting. I just can't wrap my mind around it. How could she not know?
I have tried to give this woman the benefit of the doubt. I have thought of so many different scenarios, and every angle that I come at this with, that I approach this with, I'm back to where I first started. There's no way. I go to the sheets, to, like you said, the underwear, the behavioral patterns. There's just no. She knew. I'm convinced she 100% knew.
She had to have at least had an inkling. She did nothing about. Yolanda wants to join the panel. You have to grab the link I put in there. But I want Brittany. I don't know if Brittany has seen this. This guy does great work. And he is speaking about the case. And yes, my understanding is Jen Soto has stopped speaking with police, and she has an attorney. I don't know the attorney's name, don't need to know the attorney, but I do want to know more about the $16,000 GoFundMe. Could be more because I haven't checked it. The funeral was donated.
Yep.
So what's the 16 grand for? Because I hate to tell Home Skillet, 16 grand will not buy you a good defense. And 16 grand will not buy Stephan's way out of hell. Not going to happen. Yolanda, you're backstage, but it says you're not connected. So let's look at this while Yolanda gets connected.
Behavior most of the time, and starts at a young age, and it escalates from there. I think my biggest fear is if this individual has been specifically identified in relation to this, are there any other cases out there, Julie? I think that's probably the most chilling thing about this. Is there some way they could go into CODIS if they have a sample from him where he has not been hooked up on charges previously, and see if there's any kind of involvement in any of the open cases that might be out there? And I can, I bet you dollar to donuts that they are going to go down that road, I would imagine, to see if anything else is involved. And yeah, to my friend's comments about Mama knowing, they're domiciled in this residence together. She has to have some kind of level of awareness that things were going on in there, and that's going to bear itself out. Remember, he's charged with a sex crime at this point in time. That's a big clue as to what they're looking at here.
That's right, Professor.
Many sex crimes. And this guy, he is smart. He is smart. Yolanda, it says your devices are not connected. He is smart. And that's what he said. That's what they are looking at right now. The murder will be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you, Britt, you're in the hot seat. Who do you think murdered her? Speculation only, because we obviously are not investigators.
So I think that the mom maybe lost her temper. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm on the fence about it, but where I'm at right now, are we looking at a situation where, like Tiffany said, he's just not into you, Mom? Mm-hmm. I believe that he basically used Jen to get to her daughter from the beginning.
From the beginning. Mm-hmm.
And if you look at Jen's history, she's had a gastric bypass. And I mean, just profiling from if she's who I think she is, she's going to do everything she can to please her man. He come back into town for the weekend. Is it a potential situation where she's jealous that she's not receiving that same attention as Maddie, and maybe something happened in the night? That's one of my theories. My second theory is could it have been a situation where she was given some type of substance and it was too much and she didn't wake up from it? Because we have a friend who's saying that Stephan potentially, allegedly, was taking Adderall and Ativan a lot. So those are my two theories: either mom or an accidental over. I don't know if I can say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know what you're saying. And hang on. Jinbug said he chose her because of Maddie. They prey on the weak. And we keep hearing about Seroquel, Seroquel, Seroquel. She's a heavy sleeper meeting Jen because she has to take the Seroquel. Well, was Maddie given it? I don't know, because we know that when we go to the doctor and we're prescribed medication, it is based on our tolerance and our weight. Maddie is obviously smaller than Jen. Let's see what Yolanda's been trying to connect. Let's see what she has to say. Welcome, Yolanda. You have to unmute yourself. Yolanda. If you unmute yourself, we can hear you, hon. Okay, she's having trouble connecting or figuring that out. She's probably never been on panel before. Let's get back to what the good doctor is saying.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Photos of him with her, sexually abusing her, have been located on his phone. It's just a matter of time till those homicide charges get filed, if you ask me. Great points from you both. Let's move to another big trending story now. There's a recent development.
Well, I agree with what he said, because the further the police dig, they're going to find other potential victims. And the question is always going to be there: how did Jen not know?
I agree. 100%. But I'm going to hop down now so you can let someone else come up. But thank you for letting me come up, Brooks.
Anytime, girlfriend. And if somebody could drop our girl Brittany's link in here, check her out. She's doing amazing work, not just on this case, but many others. Big round of applause for our friend Brittany. Okay, Mello said it's a mood stabilizer. Okay. Oh, thank you. LA326 said I came to the channel because of Brittany. What do you know? Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you for doing that, Chloe. Yesterday, Sheriff Grady Judd had a press conference where he's talking about people a lot like old Stephan. Let me see if Yolanda can connect. Yolanda, can you turn your microphone on? Yolanda. All right, let's go through this. Maybe she'll figure it out.
Operation where we arrested 228 people for prostitution and human trafficking. At the same time that operation was underway, we also had another operation underway where we were specifically searching out sexual predators, deviants who were focusing on or targeting or wanting to have sex with children. And that was our primary mission. And as I've said before, it takes a lot of people to put these operations on. And if we'd only arrested one person, the entire week would have been worth all the investment. But we arrested many more than that. But that's not possible without our colleagues and our partners. Today, I have representing the Lakeland Police Department who worked with us, Ty Thompson, who is a captain. We also have Sheriff Crawford from Hardy County, Lieutenant Austin Leal from Auburndale Police Department, Lieutenant Dale Hampton from the Lake Wells Police Department, and then from the State Attorney's Office is Monica Smith. Brian Haas, the State Attorney, is simply the very best. And he thinks, like all of us think, that it is unacceptable for these sexual predators to roam around and attempt to engage in sex with children. He recognizes how dangerous they are. Now, Monica is the tiniest person of our group, but she's the baddest one. When she gets in court, she is going to hold these people accountable according to the law. And they may look at us for our size, but they need to look at Monica for her determination to keep the people and the children safe.
You know, we need more sheriffs like this all across the country. It goes without saying that law enforcement, they do not make as much money as they should. They don't. My husband's former law enforcement, he makes way more money with his new career than he did putting his life on the line. It's the truth. Because this is a sheriff, and there are others. I'm not just, bragging on him. They don't just do their 8 and skate and turn in paperwork and say, well, the DA's not doing anything. They really get to it. They get to the meat and potatoes. Like he said, not just one person. We brought up a lot more. We have 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 feet. And when monsters are on the prowl, we don't have enough to protect. Sorry, we don't. Now, Jen Soto did. But it seems that she was more concerned about her own relationship than what was happening to her daughter. I agree with that doctor we just heard that said easily, how could she not know?
And I appreciate Brian appointing you to that position. But today I'm going to go over some snapshots. And in addition to these folks that were arrested and the one that's wanted, I want you to understand that these folks are those folks. Those folks have already been through the system, and we're going to talk about them. But understand that these folks will be those folks, and some of them are already on that list. So let's go over and talk about a few of the ones we arrested. This is Willie Merrill from Plant City. He's already designated as a sexual offender. So see, he's on this list because he's doing it again. But he was also on that list. In 2005, he was convicted of having sex against a 16-year-old child. Back in the day, he was sentenced to 1 year in prison and 9 years of probation, and then he was sent to us. In 2017, we arrested him for soliciting prostitution at one
That is 3 days in a row that StreamYard has done this to me. You know, and I am so nice to StreamYard. You know what? They take their bill out of DT Driver's checking account every week, not every week, every month. Very nice of me to do that. But when the shit doesn't work, Brooks gets mad. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, how ridiculous is this? Yeah, Britt said, come on, StreamYard, get it together. I mean, I guess I could use another streaming service, but I'm used to this one. All right. Chrissy said, thank you, DT. Yes. Fatal Paper Cut said, Brooks's accidental factory reset, count 3. This would be StreamYard's accidental factory reset. All right, I don't even remember where we were now. I'm so pissed. Getting so sick of that stuff. With StreamYard made in China, I don't know what in the world's going on. Ridiculous. Absolutely sickening. Okay, let me go. I got to do it this way. History. Gotta be kidding me. I mean, if Andrew Hiltz doesn't have a problem streaming, then I shouldn't. My goodness. Oh, really? Was everybody hitting the thumbs up? Wonderful. Thank you. As I always say, you're in good hands here. I think I'm going to promote Pat Kay from lead moderator to production manager. Pat Kay can be behind the scenes, you know, like the news networks do. And she can operate everything from behind. What do you think, Pat Kay? Because we know you knock it out of the park as a moderator. I think it'd be great. She said, okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I haven't queued up yet. Okay, we'll show it to you at the end of the operation. Keep in mind that he immediately tells us, I'm there to rescue her. Well, the reality is we rescued some child from him. He doesn't have any criminal history until this arrest. So he's charged with soliciting a guardian to travel, which is human trafficking. It's a first-degree felony, okay? Along with communications devices and that sort of thing. All right, next is Edmundo De Salva. He's 36. He's from North Carolina. He's married, and he is a TSA screener. That's right. You know the guy that you got to go through the line?
Oh, I know exactly who those people are. They are a step below mall cops. You go through the line at the airport, and you better not even have 1 ounce more of mouthwash, or they put it in the bin. Lotion, anything. Gotta be kidding me. Do I look like I'm gonna do anything on a plane? Hang on. Kat said, sorry, I blocked someone by accident, but immediately unblocked them. My finger, it happens. I know I get messages from people quite a bit, and they're like, how come I can't comment? How come I can't comment? Thank you, Kimberly, man. That is just the break I needed right there. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so look at this fool. He's married. He's a TSA agent. Probably has a whole trash bag full of nail clippers and mouthwash. But he's a predator on children.
At the airports, this is him at Raleigh-Durham International Airport. This is who the federal government trusts to screen you. Makes you wonder when they want to do extra screening on children, doesn't it? So he thought he was going to pay $100 to dad to have sex with her daughter. Well, so happens dad and daughter are undercover folks. But what did we do? We saved children from being victims, because if he hadn't hit on our ad, he might have hit on another ad for a real child. And when we asked him what he was doing here, he said he was on his way to South Florida to attend a birthday party. Well, we don't have birthday parties at the county jail, and he didn't make it, and he's locked up. All of these guys I'm talking about.
I love that shit. Well, we don't have birthday parties here at the county jail, and that's where he's locked up. They've been working this undercover to expose this ring of peds. You're telling me that old boy here was driving from North Carolina through South Carolina into Southern Florida to go to a birthday party? Well, they apprehended him, and now he's in jail having his own birthday party. He's having his own. There is some weird connection, all right? And it's going to take me a while to figure it out. I think we might go through it tomorrow. But there's too many people in certain areas, not just in Southern Florida, where they're breaking these rings up. And some law enforcement need to get out from under the politics and do better. Because you can't convince me there's not more going on in the Delphi case. It's not just Richard Allen.
About are still in jail. They're not out. And then he sprung this on us like his DOD buddy. They're really not buddies, but they think a lot. Hey, I've had TSA training, and I was here to do my own investigation. Well, too bad, buddy. We're taking you to the county jail, and we're going to give you some screening on the way in. And he traveled. First-degree felony, human trafficking. Then there's Hassan Abu Halia. He's from Brandon. He's 27. And he's married. Does it ever occur to you that there has to be some mad wives? If there's not, there should be mad wives.
No, it occurs to me, like in the Madeline Soto case and the Harmony Montgomery case and many others, that they are complicit. That they sit back and they let old boy do whatever he wants to do. As long as they have their grilled cheese and their tomato soup at night and they get some badonkadonk on their birthday, they don't really care. Someone splitting the bills, they're fine. They don't care. That's why I said earlier in the show, public enemy number one right now is these mothers. They've got all kinds of things to say about daddy, like Jen Soto did. She did everything she could to keep Madeline away from her father. Who was the predator? Because it wasn't her father. The predator was her boyfriend, Stephan. since 2019. This is 2024. How come everybody he puts up here looks like Benny Keys? Goodness.
Wives, and they should be ex-wives. It's like, hey, you might as well move on with your life, because upon conviction, these guys are not coming home. He said that he worked as a customer service at a customer service center as a call supervisor. And he said that he worked for AT&T. AT&T didn't want any part about that, and they did not confirm that at all.
I'm going to talk about that too. AT&T. We saw people in chat for the last week or so saying Disney said Stephan wasn't their employee. No, he's through a staffing agency. You guys ever call a customer service center, whether it's Amazon, AT&T, Verizon, what have you? Your local cable station, whatever, for your Wi-Fi? You're going to get someone that doesn't, I'm not talking about a Kentucky accent. I'm not talking about someone from the Northeast. You're talking to someone who clearly is not from this country, because they hire all of these staffing agencies. So when AT&T says, not our employee, no, but you employ the staffing agency. There's a trick to it.
He's a Jordanian citizen, but he has a permanent resident status in the United States. He thought he was paying $100 for a half hour of sex. And he thought he was paying it to a mom, and in turn was going to have sex with her daughter. Well, that's a first-degree felony. He's still locked up. And then there's Lewis Nelson. He's 29 from Tampa. He said that he worked for Bosch and Loam in Tampa. And they would not confirm that. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to take credit for this rascal being around either, but we confirmed it through pay stubs. And he also said he drove for Uber Eats. Now listen, folks. I know everybody's got to eat, but we see the weirdest dudes driving and delivering packages and Uber Eats. That they'll steal stuff. They'll try to have sex with your kids.
I don't use Uber Eats. They stiffed me and DT Driver twice. Twice. We were in Arlington, Texas. Some of my favorite Indian food is right there in Arlington. Did not bring our food. The next night we tried it again. Did not bring our food from shitty abuelos. I don't use Uber Eats. I don't use Grubhub either. I use DoorDash. Because Uber Eats doesn't have to send a picture or anything like that. DoorDash, I can be doing laundry, and I got a picture on my phone saying, hey, OJ's Kentucky Fried Chicken's at the door. Hang on. Princess said, Brooks, please be careful when you talk about concerning the Madeline Soto case. YouTube took down a 6-hour live on T-Rev talking about this, and another creator lost his channel this morning. I know. I'm trying to be really careful because there's certain words you can't say. Thank you for the warning. And hopefully they can work with YouTube to get it back. This is a very heated case for a lot of reasons. You see, we have certain people in positions that believe children are a commodity. And so when you speak out about trafficking and what was done to Madeline, they don't like it. They don't like it. Now, some of these creators should get spanked and put in the corner, but some should not. I think it's ridiculous.
You got to be careful who you invite to your house, because then they know where you are. And if they see your children, they see that too. But he solicited a guardian for sex. Oh, did you know that he's a Haitian citizen here on a work visa? We did an ICE notification just so that they would be aware. We also notified the Haiti government, like I'm sure they care that he's here doing this stuff. But he's also locked up with a first-degree felony charge. And then there's Brandon Ray from Mulberry. He works at the school board as a mechanic. He did not travel, but he agreed to pay Dad $100 for sex. He said he was worried and scared to travel because he was scared of law enforcement in Polk County. He said, you know, that Grady don't play. Well, he's right about that. When we arrested him, he admitted, yeah, that's me. And then he tells the detectives, you know, I still respect that Grady Judd for all the work he does to protect children in this community. How many brain cells do you really have? I mean, like, you're the guy I'm trying to protect the kids from with my great detectives and those from the police departments. I appreciate you respecting me. I hope you like the accommodations at the jail.
I love that. Hope you like your room and board. Vanita said, taking channels and live streams for these reasons should tell you a lot. Yes, it should. Good morning, Lala. Okay, I just looked. T-Rev has his channel, but it looks like they took down one of his lives. He's not a dirty deleter like Daisy and Prayer Garden. He's kind of he's of the school. What he says is what he says. But I mean, other people, they will lose their channel and it'll come back. We just all have to, you know, stick together.
Just thinking out loud. He didn't travel because he was afraid. Then there's Manuel Canasi from Land O'Lakes. He's married. He's got 3 children, 17, 13, and 19. He's a laborer. He did not travel, but he was charged with unlawful two-way communications, using a computer to solicit a guardian for sex. He wanted to have sex with a 15-year-old child. You have children the same age. And he's out wanting to victimize other people's children. He was willing to pay $100 to have sex. He sent a screenshot of one advertisement that went out that was calling us out. And then this is his quote: that sheriff is a hard ass, end quote, and he doesn't play, quote again. Well, right on both counts. And he's also locked up, even though he didn't travel. He was afraid. So then there's John Adams. He's not in custody yet. John gets an extra big picture because he's outstanding. Now, folks, y'all know John. He's a contractor. He works in Lake County. He lives in Dunedin. He's a local guy. He chatted. He was going to pay $380 to have sex for 2 hours with a 15-year-old girl. He was going to pay mom. And he talked very, very filthy. We can't even say those words.
No, and you don't want to. Like when I was talking about the probable cause affidavit, the 60 new charges that came out against Stephan yesterday, or Stephen, Mr. Disney, whatever you want to call him. It is too much to read out. We're all big people here, okay? We're adults. This this show isn't for, 10 and under. No way. But there are some things that you just have to do the research yourself, because YouTube would flip a shit. And let's clarify, Trevor has his channel. T-Rev had an issue with one of his lives, but his channel is still up. And some people are comfortable with it. They can, they can read it all 36 pages fluidly. But when I saw Plunder, who I just adore, Paula, that's her real name, breaking down crying, then it's too much. It's just too much. Like I said, you get to page 26, 27, they're talking about S&M, bestiality. This is real life. This is real life. And we've had 2 recent cases where there were people, very recent, where there were people that were allowed access to a child that should have never been anywhere around. One, Madeline Soto, we're talking about right now. Another one, Audrey Cunningham. Spirit Seeker said it made me want to vomit. I can't tell you how many people said, I cried, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think, I was trying to make coffee and my hand was shaking, because it is bad. And we haven't even gotten to the M word yet. We don't even know what took her from this planet. That's what we're dealing with.
How bad are they? They're worse than the words your mama used to wash your mouth out with soap for saying when you were a kid. I tell you that. And he talked about all the vile and nasty things he wanted to do. Fifth, he's a filthy talking rascal. Well, John, he's not any kin to the second president, or, as far as we know. John, you might as well turn yourself in, because we're coming after you. We're going to find you. Yeah, we know that you're hiding right now. So you can go to jail, or you can go to jail tired, and how you do that's up to you. And for friends, relatives, somebody that may know where John is, if you call Crime Stoppers and tell them you can stay totally anonymous, we'll give you cash, and he'll go to jail sooner rather than later. He's out, and he's capable of having sex with your children.
And if that doesn't say it, I don't know what does. If that doesn't get something across to the general public, look at that old prevert. He's out, and he's going to go after other children. For sure. Tiffany said, I took Pepto. Walking Dead says, how do you access it? I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on Facebook. If it won't go through Facebook, if it's too much, I'll have to email it to you. Princess said he's out. He's talking about this John Adams guy they're trying to find, because there is a lot going on, not just in southern Florida, but in other areas. Now, there's some states that ignore it, and I'm not digging that. There's some states that want to call the PED thing a mental illness. What else is a mental illness now? When is accountability going to come back? I don't get it. When are people going to be held accountable? Yesterday, when we were doing the show about Harmony Montgomery and how her stepmother has been paroled, a few people chimed in and they said that the father of Cody Bixby was found guilty, and that's without a body. I said, okay. We have 3 recent cases. Children. Bodies not recovered, and we have guilty verdicts. We have the West case from Cal City, Harmony Montgomery from Manchester, New Hampshire, and now we have Cody Bixby in Virginia. So you can't tell me that Hawkins County, Tennessee can't get it right, and you can't tell me that Portland, Oregon can't get it right. There is a way to charge without a body, unless you just don't want to. Other cases where they don't have the body, we can clearly see the traction going on. It's just damn sick. And this case turns my stomach. Alicia says they have proof of death in those cases, though. I wouldn't say they do, because they haven't found the bodies. They have Kayla's eyewitness testimony that Harmony was deceased. They have a brother in Cody's case saying that he heard something. And then in the West case, you have one of the siblings saying that he knew one of them was gone. So I don't know. But I do know this case blows my mind. And I think it's going to break wide open. I don't think Stephan, whatever, Mr. Disney, only hurt Madeline. Could you just imagine if all 400 plus images that have just recently been recovered were all Madeline? I read something about a dog collar. Come back soon, Jesus. Beautiful Messy Ball, glad you're back, said people can have mental illness and still be criminals and be criminally accountable for their actions. Mental illness is not insanity and does not negate knowing right from wrong. Exactly. But we know there are some elected officials and a few states that want to say, no, it's mental illness. I can't think of a pill that's going to fix this, although I'm not a doctor. I can think of one thing that would fix them, but it doesn't come out of a pill bottle. Well, I want to appreciate everybody for being here. I know this is a really tough case. A really tough case to get through, and I appreciate each and every one of you for having these conversations, dealing with my technical difficulties. I had to double check twice to make sure OJ didn't do it, but he didn't this time. and just being here for the right reasons every day. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. I think we're going to have 2 shows tomorrow, like we had 2 shows yesterday. I've got some other stuff I'm working on. And I love your comments. So please, if you didn't get it put in chat and you're catching it on the replay, leave me an after show comment. Thank you, Mod Squad, for keeping it real, keeping it cool, and making everybody feel at home. Thank you, Britt, for coming up. Thank you, Tiff, for coming up. And thank you for being awesome, awesome friends and being the best chat and best community on these filthy YouTube streets.